Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pounds. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor, come down, hotel, lobby.
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. And we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with the Denver Broncos. Now the first carry here for Phillip Lindsay. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
Hey, tight down. There you go.
On 2nd down, a run with Lindsay. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Lock now on 1st down. And he hits his target, Deshaun Hamilton. Now, I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. He was looking to get it to Phillip Lindsay there, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing his lock on 3rd down, and that's incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good. Good field position to start the drive after the missed field goal. Here's 1st down from the 42.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
To throw again on 2nd down, Garoppolo. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Completes it to Samuel. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A pickup of 27, and they pick up the 1st down in the process. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
At the 31-yard line.
Here we go, here we go. 180!
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
On second down, it's Coleman, and he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
Let it go, Jesus, let it go! He was brought down by Tom Davis. It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 10.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And the throw there going to be incomplete. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught 1 of the 3.
But that doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
So Garoppolo off. Coming on is the veteran Robbie Gould for the 49er field goal. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. And this one is right down the middle. And the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. $3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. 49ers have an extra defensive back on the field. A nickel set for 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Locke. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Here we go, here we go. 180!
Now Garoppolo on the bootleg. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Derek Wolfe popping in for the sack. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result?
Sack.
Quarterback gets hit.
Here we go. 180.
Check. 45 is the mic.
They're not ready for this, man.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. He finds Coleman. And they're going to get the first down here across the 15-yard line. And that gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Here we go. Here we go. 120. Pick me up. Here we go.
Right back to Coleman here on 1st down. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a 1st down, 49ers. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Let's go.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. 180. I'm coming for you. You mine.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a 1st down, 49ers.
Here we go. Here we go. 180.
Come off the wall.
Garoppolo now, 1st down throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Von Miller doing what he does best with a sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Coleman now. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. This is away, and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. As Denver comes back out here offensively, this is a team, Charles, that finished the season 7-9. 1-4 their last 5 to get to that mark. Really what killed their chances was that 0-4 start to the season. A couple of those losses were really heartbreakers in the final seconds of the game.
And they were hurt by injuries as well because they lost 2 of their bigger, better players early in the season. Bradley Chubb, outside linebacker, defensive end, and Jawan James, starting offensive tackle. They exit early, don't really play much this season. But this Broncos team, they feel like they found their quarterback in Drew Lock down the stretch. Because at one point, if you said inept when you talked about the Denver offense, you were on target. Down the stretch with Drew Lock, though, starting to show some sparks of life, and they feel good about heading into 2020.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now Lock. He's got his tight end Fant and able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Lock going to throw. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. Phillip Lindsay, the intended target. That'll bring up second down. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. This is taken at his 4. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Garoppolo. Open man is Kendrick Bourne. A gain of 6 there on first.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 31-yard line.
Here we go.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. 180! You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid of me.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
From this vantage point, they've got the lead here, so for me, that'd be enough to go ahead and punt the football and let my defense defend the long field.
If you go for it, you don't get it, then you really put your defense in a tight spot.
Yeah, but we never know what people ultimately will decide to do here on 4th and inches.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Lock and the Broncos going to come up 1st and 10 at the 20. Lock now to throw. Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Here's Lock to throw. This is the tight end Fant. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Pushing his way through. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. He shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. They'll try the draw. Lindsey. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
Unfortunately for you, you've been around me for a little while now, so you know me as well as anyone and how I look at a game. I don't ever advocate abandoning anything, but in this case, I'm going against my own thought process. You got to change it up. You got to start throwing it around a little bit, finding ways to try and move the ball, because keeping it on the ground just isn't working for them.
Yeah, maybe get him the ball out of the passing game, a swing pass outside or something, just something to vary it up. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. After the turnover, here's Locke. That one into the hands of Hamilton. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. On 2nd down, it's Lindsey. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 11. Here's Locke. And he finds Hamilton. That's complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Locke now. 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
It looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves him with 7 yards to go on 3rd down.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And he is going to be stopped at the 12, short of the 1st down. And he's just short. He got 6 of the 7 he needed, so that leaves a decision here on 4th and a yard.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And McManus able to put it through. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. This hasn't exactly been a battle of one touchdown after the other, quite the opposite. But at 3-3 now here in the 4th, It's been an entertaining game considering just 2 field goals.
Yeah, is it really a football game now, or are we watching baseball? Because this feels like a pitcher's duel, doesn't it? Nice and tense, on the edge of your seat. Have you been scoring this one? A lot of strikeouts and ground balls in this one.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. In on the tackle, the former All-Pro Chris Harris. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4.
Here we go.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Here comes the 49ers punter now as he's on here to punt it away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Throwing now is Locke. Got a man that's complete to Hamilton. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
So they had the big loss on that 1st down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. A throw taken in by Hamilton. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a 1st down.
It's a gain of 17 yards. And the Broncos 1st down.
Let's go.
Locke now. Just 7 of 15 so far, but he's got a 1st and 10. Back to throw. Locke. They'll find Lindsey here. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it's a 2nd down.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
The Broncos in the hurry-up try to get to their positions and get set quickly. To throw is Locke. He's got his 6'5 receiver. That's Tim Patrick. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Inside of a minute to go now. 2 timeouts left. Still in pretty good shape.
I think they're in excellent shape here if they use the timeouts judiciously and use the sideline as an additional timeout.
Locke to throw. Finding the open man, and that's Tim Patrick. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And that absolutely cannot happen. Just a gain of a yard in this situation, you've got to get chunks of yardage. Otherwise, the defense, very happy with what you're doing.
On the double. 50 seconds to Mike. I'm here all day. I'm here all day. Shoot.
Now Locke. Got a man open. It's Sutton. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 30.
At this stage, you've got to hustle. Got to get back to the line of scrimmage because you're saving that timeout to make sure you have a chance to get your kicker out there for the big shot.
Locke going to bring the offense up 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 6 of his throws on this drive. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. So this thing rests on the shoulders of Brandon McManus. He has missed twice today, but he can make up for it here. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. So this thing rests on the shoulders of Brandon McManus. He has missed twice today, but he can make up for it here. And his kick is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So he's able to come through in a hostile environment, and you'd have to imagine that's the game winner.
Yeah, how about that? And the way that this game's gone, you think they really wanted to get to overtime and take their chances there? They wanted to get this thing done. When you're the visitor, you don't want to play into overtime. You want to knock it down, get it done, and go home.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. Well, going into the final play of this game,